It is workout time.
She was
Not too loud.
too loud.
I'm
She's
sorry.
awake now. I'm starving. I have a headache. So
That's Everything's loud. Just so you know. All right, y'all. So we're starting the workout. Carrie, do you want me to get you food before I start jumping rope? So we actually are going to take a couple of minutes to get set up. Carrie just actually got home. So before I go into the workout, I wanted to start everything up. We're going to test it. Let me know in the chat, how the lighting is, how it sounds, how everything looks. I'm going to have everything pulled up on my master screen over here. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to go heat Carrie up some chili, which we actually made yesterday in our meal prep demo, if you guys saw that. And then Baby Hope's going to be super pumped about it as well. Right, Hope Bear?
I'll take Greek yogurt and cheese too, please.
Carrie, how does everything look on your end where you can see from the screens? Like, let me know in the chat how everything looks.
Yeah, it looks good for me.
Like on screen wise, I mean, like if you can look at the screens.
Yeah, I'm looking at the screens.
Look at those screens.
They look good. This one over here, obviously the vertical one doesn't have the banner or anything in it.
Yeah, no, it's
But yeah.
you think you're 2 scoops hungry?
Of Greek yogurt.
No, chili.
So many scoops. 2 scoops isn't even gonna come close.
Good. All right, y'all. So we're gonna get some chili heated up for Carrie, who's gonna hang out hopefully with us. So here's how it's gonna kind of work. Let me actually tag the products. I'm gonna just keep the bands tagged for the entire live stream, but I'm gonna be using pretty much all of the products here, or whatever product I'm using will be in the actual like product list. And then I'm going to come back and like obviously circle back and edit all this stuff. But I'm going to literally just keep the bands as the highlighted product, because this is literally a demo for the bands and all the fun that's related to that. And if you guys are curious, you're watching on any other platform, you could just let me know. What's up, y'all? What's up? What's up? Let's highlight the bands. Well, Bear, you want to see this workout? And what I realized too, I'm on my weighted vest. We got to get my weighted vest on, y'all. That's another bonus. Wall carries. Chili is heating up. We can get our weighted vest on. Also, did you know that I can jump rope in the house? I didn't realize. When we moved the dining room table or the dinner table, there's actually just enough room for me to jump rope. Right, don't hit the ceiling. So we're gonna actually, and so I got, this is a 10-pound weighted vest by Bellis. Then we're gonna throw on, in addition to it, another 20 pounds. Because why not? And because I'm not doing that crazy cardio, I want another way to like drive the heart rate.
I mean, she slept for like 10 minutes. So she'll probably be up for the whole live stream.
So what I also wanted to just show really quick is this is something I talked about on the live stream yesterday. This little bowl holder, so when you microwave the bowl, you don't burn your hands. This is a pretty clutch kind of component here that you get to utilize right now. Right, Hope Bear?
Definitely don't want to burn your hands. Oh, that's the perfect bowl.
Yeah. All right, so everything looks good as far as the lighting. Let's pull everything up, and then we're going to start with our jump rope. So what I'm doing is literally the workout I'm doing is a combination of 2 things. One, what's on our blog. I uploaded a holiday season workout, so you guys can literally go on our blog, be able to check it out. It's all body weight. I'm going to do, it calls for 2 to 4 rounds. I'm going to go through all 4 rounds, but each round I'm going to progress. Round 1 is going to be body weight. Round 2 is going to be a more challenging version than round 3, and then round 4 is going to be the hardest version that I'm going to utilize with the equipment behind me. So you can go from like kind of baseline beginner, and then level 4 is like boss level, getting up all the way up to the top of the highest resistance we can do in a home gym with the equipment that I have set up. And then we're also going to do, I'm going to run through the actual regular body weight warm up, and then I'm going to do a couple of other warm-ups I like to do that infuse martial arts between the physio ball or our Smarter Life ball, between the bands and shadow boxing, as well as jump rope, which now I figured out I can actually jump rope in the house. So with that being said, the first thing we're going to do is, and each one of these is going to be pretty much 20 seconds. We're starting with high knees. So I'm going to kind of turn around, make sure my Kufandy shorts are laced up. Also, you can see pretty much everything I'm wearing and have in this environment is all available on our shops. Wherever you're watching this, it's pretty much there. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our high knees going, especially with the added, hold on, let me get my timer so I know I got 20 seconds on the clock. With the weighted vest, what I find helpful is because I actually don't even strap this up anymore. I just kind of hold it. It helps me keep my hands in the right place. Now, ideally, in a perfect world, if you do want arms pumping to get that try, see where we're at. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so bringing the heart rate up while I'm tracking. I'm already at 115 beats per second. That's why I love using our Amazfit smartwatch here to just track everything. Let's get our arm circles. So going through, again, it's more dynamic. Everything we're doing here is pretty much a dynamic-oriented movement, so that means we're actively moving through space. Carrie, what are you laughing at? Okay. Carrie, you laughing at me?
No, I'm laughing at the baby. She's looking at you, and she's looking at me and smiling.
Yeah.
And like, what's happening here?
She's like, this is crazy. All right, so now we're going to go backwards. So again, a lot of stuff, if you ever played sports, some of the stuff will still hang around. There's some legitimacy to a lot of the dynamic stretching you may have done in your athletic high school, middle school, or even collegiate level life. But we're going to just expand upon things. All right, let me make sure also I want to see the chat. If I'm missing anything. Boom. Okay, cool. Looking good. So the next thing we're going to go into is our hip openers or hip circles. So the analogy I like to use is think about you're stepping over a fence. So we're going to do about, I'll let you do 5 each leg. And again, we can enhance all of this with some band resistance and some different prompts. You don't need a weighted vest for this. Still, same thing will work. But I wanted to go through, again, our warm-up that is efficient. It takes like 2 to 5 minutes. Yeah, I'm going to be at like 8 seconds. Boom. And then we're going to get a couple more movements and get into our first round, which is going to be all body weight. So now we're going to go into our walkouts. So when it says walkouts, what I'm referring to is bring those hands down, walking those hands out. And then there's 2 ways you can go about it. You can either walk your feet in to get a little more hamstring, walk them back, walk the hands in, come back up, or you can just focus on walking the hands in and out. I like doing more caterpillar style, which walks the hands out and then walks the feet out and back. So you get a little bit of both. And then I'll just go one more time here. I won't even come all the way back up. Just like getting, again, upper body activated, getting a nice dynamic stretch. And with the weighted vest, yeah, it definitely kicks it up a notch. All right, so now we've got our butt kickers. And then we do squat with an overhead reach just for a little bit more range of motion. So again, butt kickers, get 20 seconds on the clock. Again, these are dynamic movements, getting our hamstrings fired up. Got another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Now we're going to get a squat to open up those hips. And what I like to do with this one is where, again, if you don't have the bands, that's okay. But I'm immediately going to work these in because I do find it helpful just from a postural standpoint. So we're going to up, get that nice reach, get nice and deep. We're going to go for, again, 20 seconds. For me, that's roughly about 5 reps. And again, the goal of the warm-up is doing exactly that. Warm your body temperature, warming the tissue, creating more elasticity so you're going to reduce injury prevention, and priming whatever muscles you're going to be doing in your workout. So let's run through our circuit. So we're going to go through a squat with the overhead reach, what I literally just did. We're going to go to a push-up. Then we're going to do glute bridge, reverse lunges, plank with a shoulder tap, and then rows. The first round, again, I'm doing all body weight. So I'm going to even drop the bands. We'll go through how we level it up each round. And then for a finisher, from a metabolic standpoint, we're going to do intervals of 60 seconds just to get our heart rate up. So I'm actually going to do some shadow boxing to do that. But before I go into all of that, I wanted to do another layer of warm-up that I like to do that's martial arts inspired and infused. So, and like, this is great. Like, look, my heart rate's already up at 150. So now it's coming back down. I'm going to do 3 minutes on my physio ball here. Okay. And if you've watched any kind of old school Brazilian jiu-jitsu or even like wrestling drills, you may be familiar with this, but this is to me an amazing way from a balance, coordination, and also from a just neurological standpoint to stimulate more connections. And then if we want to level this up, I could have like Carrie or a partner or somebody throw something to me and I can have a catch. We start to coordinate different parts of the brain. There's also something I've seen really successful with ADHD clients that we work with, specifically for any kind of like neurodiversity or executive function or our vestibular system. It'll light that up. Our prefrontal cortex, when we add more complex games to it. Fancy way of saying really good for your brain as well as your physical system. So we're going to do this again, 3 minutes, about 40 seconds in. Now, this isn't driving my heart rate up as much. It will maintain it. Like right now I'm at 140. But as I slow down, it'll come down a little bit. But what I do like about this is usually if I were warming up, I do this first. This just kind of activates my lower body, helps with my squeeze, the adductor muscles. Again, we can really, the wider my legs go, the more actively I can think about pinching, relaxing. The progression I would suggest, by the way, for those that have never done this before, making it look easy, it's not. So you start on all fours and you even have your legs and your feet behind you as kickstands. And then eventually you start to lift your feet up, get your balance, come back down. This is the first progression. Second progression, you would then work up to all fours. Third progression, work up to your knees. Fourth progression, I don't even do this. You can work up to your feet. It's not what I necessarily recommend. I've seen a variety of balance and stability kind of level ups from there, but that's not necessarily one I would recommend. But this is a great way. Again, I like warming up because I feel like it gets pretty much my entire lower body, as well as getting the core, our entire torso. And then if we want to kind of level up for jiu-jitsu or wrestling, you can start to kind of shadow wrestle. You can move around the ball. You can even go like knee on belly, smash pass, cut your hips. There's a variety of drills you can do from a jiu-jitsu standpoint. Press up to a knee on belly kind of position. Go double, knees on, hands back, and go into like different pike up positions. There's a variety of ways to incorporate movements and drills, get your core going. And I just really like it. And again, you can even do this to just get your heart rate. You can make this a conditioning drill. So being able to even roll through and then bring back. And doing even simple leg marches to get hip flexors firing up a little bit more. Or I even like to just cue my heels into the ball, get a nice hamstring activation, work on our stability and balance. This is like great for my jiu-jitsu or butt scooting action or open guard play. Or we can even, again, go through another fun one, go through a kind of like 90-90, and then you can switch or cut your hips. I'll be honest, having the additional weighted vest makes it a little bit trickier than when I normally do it without any, obviously, because now as we shift our weight, it gives a different feedback system. But all right, there's 3 minutes. Now, the next thing I like to do is I would do 3 minutes. Hope loved it. Hope's all about it. I would do 3 minutes on the ball. Then I do 3 minutes bandage shadow boxing. Okay. So I also, fun fact, I set up, especially during COVID, I learned how to get creative with pads. I set up my shin guard over here, not just because it looks cool, but because if I want to throw a kick, I can throw it. Now, one thing I will say, I've conditioned my shin so I can kind of kick stuff like that. It's not as bad. But I don't recommend just kicking stuff. So putting shin pads on a tree, on your dog cage, on table, like chair, whatever, you can get creative with those things so you can work in kicks. So now we're going to go for, again, 3 minutes, just shadow boxing, kind of moving around. One of the favorite things I learned to do at Phuket Top Table, really, again, elite level Muay Thai, Simple. Jab, cross, check, check. Then double it up, and then double up your checks. So I'll do like a pyramid. So I'll do 6, then 6 checks. And then if you want to do it on a hop, you can do it even more, but I'll go 8. And then I can go 1, 5, 6, 7. And again, a great way to get your heart rate up. And then again, when I say double it up, I mean, you go same side and hop. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I climb my way up the pyramid now. Now my heart rate's going above 150. That's great. Now we're going to climb down. So I went 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Now I'm going to go back down. 8, 4, 6, 8. Check. 4, 6, 8. Now we climb back down again. 2, 6, 4, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 4, 2. Good. So now it's already, again, that's like what, a minute 15. My heart rate's up to 165. I'm pretty much in my VO2 max, my zone 5 training now. And now I can just kind of play with footwork, move around a little bit. Again, you know, so I'm going to be mindful because of the barbell. Being able to just throw our kicks, especially inside if you don't have a heavy bag. Give me a fun, creative way to do that. Not while you're, I was actually not going to do this, but the top is up. Hey, are you eating my muffin?
No.
Carrie's eating my muffin. Y'all, what's going down? I know, I'm messing. So we got, what, 30 seconds? 1 minute. Here's one thing I always like to instill y'all is regardless if you're fighting or not, you don't need any like super technical skills. You can throw a basic jab cross. You can do a basic check, and get your total body, your heart rate up. So I'm at 170. Then the last 30 seconds, we do punch outs. So last 30 seconds of the fight, I always think about how we start, how we finish. We start strong in the fight, the first 30 seconds. We finish strong, the last 30 seconds. That's what the judges remember, amongst other things. Again, not that anyone necessarily needs this for fighting. Or if you're not fighting, you may not need it, but that's why we do 30 seconds punch out now. Just to finish the round strong, we got our heart rate up. And then we'll go into jump rope for the last 3 minutes. So it'll really be like an 11-minute warm up. You got different levels of it. There's 10 more seconds. 10. 4, 3, 2, boom. Okay. So, let's see, where's my timer? Here we go. Again, we're going to do 3 minutes of jump rope now. So this is, to me, jump rope is the most complex of all the ones we did. So body weight, technically, even I would call the ball my level 1. But I think that if you haven't done it before, that's more of a level 2. Body weight warm-ups level 1. Pull-up level 2. Banded shadow boxing level 3. Bring your heart rate up and more. The jump rope level 4. Okay, we can get really fancy with jump rope as well. Like, yeah, my heart rate's at 177. Again, keep in mind, I've got 30 pounds of extra weight on, or 20, 25. No, 10 plus 20, yeah, 30. I can do math. I got this, y'all. Let's see if we got, and again, if you guys have questions on as I'm going through this, in between my rest rounds, I'll try and check the comments and see if we got anything flagged. Let me also pull up TikTok. So that's the one I don't have pulled up to check, make sure if I'm missing questions or anything like that. Let's see. How do I see my own live? Make sure I'm missing questions here on TikTok, y'all. Come on, TikTok, tell me what's up. Tell me what's up. No, definitely not that. We got like, and again, if you notice, I'm taking about 2 minutes. We got a minute and 15, so we'll take another 45 seconds in between to get my last round in here. There we go. That should be able to see my live. Where's the live? Oh, yeah, oh, bear. Oh, word, girlfriend. Let's see if anyone else is.
How's your day going?
No, we're not gonna. All right, we're just going to exit that out. All right, so actually what we will do, though, we're going to rock out to some music. Actually, I'm a little concerned. So I don't know if you guys heard, I have my speaker system right back here. My Soundcore Motion Boom. This thing's clutch. But I'm a little hesitant to even rock that out because Amazon may flag any of the music, so I don't even want to mess with that. So we're just not even going to roll the dice, but we're going to get into our jump program. Okay. Ready? Let's get our jump. Let's see if I can not hit anything. All right, I'm already hitting stuff, y'all. Already hitting stuff. That's not a good sign. Let's see. Okay. All right, I think I got a good angle. I'm safe here. I'm safe. So yeah, I'm gonna go 3 minutes. Oh, those plants are rocking. Again, we can get fancy with our footwork where we want to either do, I don't want to do double unders just because of the ceiling. We're gonna go high knees. I would say rotate, but I'm worried as I rotate, I might hit something. So I'm be a little bit mindful of that. I like that. Anyone that's trained with me live, any of my coaching sessions, you guys know, I love jump rope where we're moving as well. Like, you know what I was thinking about? I wonder what's the longest distance someone's jump rope can like move. I was like, I could totally do a mile jumping rope, like running forward. I don't know how long it would take, but there has to be, right? There has to be one else. Good, right? Yeah, they didn't have anything else. They didn't have an orange or brand, so. Yeah, I also wonder who's following along with this workout. Is anyone following along at home? Where's my time? We're about halfway home. See if we got any questions. There's no got any questions. That last 90 seconds, go. And again, all the products I'm using are going to be in, if you're watching on Amazon or TikTok, it's going to be in my product showcase. If you're watching anywhere else, you're going to have to check out the shopping stream. And I'm also going to post in the description, you'll see links. Just make sure you're following wherever this is at. But I'd recommend hopping on to our either Amazon or TikTok to get the deals while they're going on from now till Monday. Like the bands, when you get our band set, if you complete it, you do 80% of the work, I'm going to give you your money back. When you get our books, I'm going to throw in the whole book series. You just buy one book, I'll give you all of them. When you do our 14-day trial, you're 80% adherent, I'm going to send you the bands. I'm going to send you the whole book, the Fighter Hat series that we have. All right, last like 30 seconds. Not even. We're pick up the pace. All right, let's see if we do double unders. Wonder. And do. All right, so yeah, we'll call it there. There's like enough time anyway. All right, y'all. So that's our complete warm up. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a minute. We're gonna go to the first round of our actual circuit. So again, we're starting with squats. First round, we're gonna do 10. Then we're doing 6 to 12 reps of push-ups. So the first round, I'm gonna do the lower volume of each. So I'm gonna do 10 squats, 6 push-ups. We're gonna do 12 glute bridges. But then we have alternating lunges, reverse lunges, get those glutes. We do 8 on each leg, 20 seconds, plank with shoulder taps, 12 rows. So again, I'm doing the bodyweight version. Bodyweight rows aren't going to do that much depending on where you're at, but it can still somewhat be challenging. So first one, we're going with, and here's, I like this version of a squat, which is kind of cool. It's called a bottoms up squat. So you kind of hinge forward, touch your toes, squat down, raise your hands up, bring it up. So I think that's a pretty fun one. We're going to kind of go through that until we get our bands and our weight involved. 2. Yeah, we're going for, I guess, about 12. 3. You guys can't tell, I have some back injuries, so I have a slight forward lean going. If we were to use a diagnostic test, a trainer would mark me as excessive forward lean, not even a slight. But constantly get to work on these pieces. We can play with our foot position. And right up here. Folks are staring at me.
Yeah, she loves to watch you work out.
That's the thing. Your kids are watching, parents. Make sure you're showing them an example you'd be proud of. 10, 11, one more time. And again, because we're going circuit, we're not necessarily taking a break in between. So I'm going right into, we got push-ups. Okay. Also, I'm nursing a rotator cuff injury. So I'm actually going to turn these into tricep push-ups because I didn't get my triceps in before. So we're going to be mindful of that. I'm going to use the wall here. I found using the wall helps if you feel like you're going to slide. One more. Yeah. With the extra 30 pounds, definitely feel that one, even just body weight. Now we're going to go into glute bridges. So again, here's the thing. I made a video on glute bridges. I want to give some additional insight. So I was talking about the cue of the closer you get your heels, the more you're going to get your glutes. The further away, the more your hamstrings. Here's the caveat though. If you go too far in with your heels, you can get your quads more than your glutes. But what we're really shooting for is 90-degree angle at the top. That's how you know if you have the right position. And what I like to think about is tilting my hips under myself, doing that posterior tilt, squeezing the butt. So it's kind of the opposite of a Kim Kardashian anterior pelvic tilt. We're scooping it out like you almost want a flat butt. That gets the glutes activate a little bit more. 5, 6, 7, 8. What I will say, the weighted vest is not the best for doing the bridges on the floor, which is why we're going to level it up with the ball on the next round. 12. All right, let's see what we got here now. I believe we got alternating lunges next. We do. We're going reverse lunges, shoulder taps, and then we're going to get into our banded rows. Technically, it's going to be body weight rows. So again, because I have the weighted vest, we're just going to go alternating. We're going for 8. Thinking about the glute and our quad here on that front side. So I'm going to go consecutively. Well, I'll call for alternating, so I lied. I'm tempted to just go consecutive because it's more fatiguing, but we call for alternating. I'm going to stick to alternating. 3 and switch. 3. Let's see where's my heart rate. Yeah, 170, man. I'm keeping my heart rate up with weighted vest. 4, 5. We're going to 8, 5, 6, 7. So I'm calling myself out. I'm rushing a little bit, so I don't know if you guys saw that. Because I'm rushing, I'm losing my ankle stability. 7. We're going to slow it down. Lock in that ankle stability. 8. Okay, now we've got plank with shoulder taps, 20 seconds. And then we'll go to our rows. Okay. So we're going high plank here for the shoulder tap. You say shoulder tap, we're just coming up. Where are we at? How are we doing on time? I usually have a pretty good internal clock here. That was 22 seconds. So I can kind of tell where the time's at. And now we've got, again, for those rows, since we're not using resistance yet, we get into our bent over position. And we're going to have those hands hanging. What we're going to focus on is, again, palms facing towards us. Hinge the shoulder blades back. As we're pulling, rotating palms face away. Come all the way down and then drop the shoulder blades, getting an extra. Hinge down and back. Up, 2. Going to 12. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12. Okay, so now we're gonna do a 1-minute burnout finisher, shadow boxing. Where's my bands? Here we are. This is where, again, I love the bands. Honestly, where my heart rate's at, I don't even need this for the HIIT reasons or VO2 max. This is just gonna be part of the fun now and demonstration. And I just miss getting in shadow boxing or live work with Muay Thai since I don't get to classes as much. So anywhere I can do some skilled shadow boxing. That's the cool thing. Even just heating up food, microwaving your food, you can shadow box. You can get movement in. Get it in where you want. Drop down, do 5 push-ups while you're heating up food. Like, again, make those little deposits. They will add up. It's about what kind of life, as far as a lifestyle, hence the name, you want to create for yourself. Where are we at? Yeah, there we go. Okay. So now that was a minute of our shadow boxing. Now I'm going to take a minute of rest. And then Beeshers. Let's see if Mishers the dog wants to jump in. We're going to round 2 now. Mish? Mish? Oh, yeah. Misha the dog's going to join us. She's going to get excited. So now, round 2, we're going to level it up. The way we're going to level it up is with bands. So you can just use the bands to level it up multiple times. But for this one, we're going to do bands for the second level. And then we're going to incorporate some other movements. Or, I'm sorry, other pieces of equipment. So, like I have some dumbbells, adjustable dumbbells, barbell, kettlebell, little Thor's hammer style. Got the physio ball. Got our lamp board. There's ways that we can level this up, not just with bands, but with other tools as well. But since this is a banded workout, I want to give you guys how we do this. And again, the cool thing is when you buy our band set, our whole system, it's not just a set of bands. It's what separates us and why the price is what it is. You get an entire program for 100 days. You get a 30-day replicable resistance band program. You get a 14-day coach assignment to you, holding you accountable and checking in on you. You get a nutrition plan. You get our entire app, a lifetime access to our app so you can log food, keep your workouts, build upon that. Plus, right now for our deal, you get a $500 credit to coaching and our health retreats. So you get just so much value for what the price point is. All right, with that being said, I've pretty much talked through the whole rest period. Let's get after it. So, like I was mentioning, we're going to do our overhead squat now. So this is where I kick the bands in, and I'm going to have my hands overhead the entire time. And again, we can use a variety of resistance levels for the bands, but I'm going with our yellow because we're going to level it up from here. All right, so again, we're going 12. Fun to watch like my own technique so I can critique myself real time. Because seldomly nowadays am I working out in front of mirrors at home. When I'm live, it's like having a lifetime mirror. Yeah, 5 more. 8. And so there's only do the same thing. We're going to take the band for our push-up and level up the resistance by bringing it around my back. So as I'm extending my arms, I get a little bit more resistance at the top. Resistance are pretty rough already since I've got 30 pounds with the weighted vest, but this is the fun, y'all. So I like to do it's called natural lie for my hand position on most lifts. So my arms naturally lie at my side, but for this one, I'm going to tighten them up because I want more triceps. And I'm just bringing them directly under my shoulders. So coming down. And then notice how the resistance kicks in at the top part. Keep those out of sight. One more. Oof. And that one's getting me a little bit. Okay. So now we've got our glute bridges. So this is where I'm going to talk about getting the ball in along with the bands. Watch out, Mish. Watch out, Mish. Be sure. So again, like I was mentioning, don't do it right now. Mish is a big licker. Dude, come on. You know, I don't like when you're looking like that. She just can't help it. So what we're gonna do with the bands is we're gonna pin the bands down as far down on the ball or to the ground as we can get them to give an added layer of resistance. So I'm letting my hips down. Again, I'm creating a relatively 90-degree angle to get the most from my glutes. If I want more quads, I'll bring them as tight as I can possibly get them. I'll get more quads. If I want more hamstrings, I walk my feet out even further, I get more hamstrings. But we pretty much want heels closer to your butt to get more of those glutes. It's an easy way to remember it. So again, I'm driving up, holding the bands down, gives me more resistance. If I want to, I can even choke up, pull it down to get more resistance. 2, 3. And this is a great way to get triceps. 4. I'm just too loud, aren't I? Am I too loud? So we might have to cut this short, y'all, to 2 rounds instead of 4, because Hope Bear is having a hard time sleeping. Sorry, Hope Bear.
We got a small house.
That's why we're working so hard so we can buy our new house. I'm gonna have an entire studio to film all this stuff. But for now, we're making adjustments. So that was our glute bridges. Now we're gonna go into our reverse lunges. So what we're gonna do for the reverse lunges is check this out. I haven't used the door anchor yet for the bands, and this is the perfect time to use it. Since I was actually saving this for level 3 and level 4, but since I'm probably not gonna get the chance, what we're gonna do is I have my door anchor already under the door. I'm sliding the bands through, and I can either hold them, I can clip on my handles, but what I'm gonna do is I'm a big fan of Zercher variations. So I'm gonna hook the bands onto my elbows. So it enforces really strong posterior chain engagement, traps, upper back, even our arms. Again, I'm gonna step back, drive. 1. I'm even gonna angle it so you can see a little bit better. You said Hope Bear. 6. 7. 7. 8. And there we go. So that's another way we can level up our lunges, not just with the bands, but the positioning of those bands. Now we're going to shoulder taps, and then we're going to do our banded rows. I can actually get the bands in. So here's another thing. Instead of doing our just shoulder taps, I'm going to bring the kettlebell, and I'm going to bring in my band. We have, again, long loop and short loop style bands. So check this out. I'm going to take my short loop style bands, wrap it around my wrist. So I get a little bit more engagement of my shoulder blade muscles and the ones that are responsible for bringing my hands apart. Which can be rhomboids, different parts of the rotator. So I'm in this plank position, but I'm also going to be dragging the kettlebell across my body. So I'm bringing it across, bringing it across. This is a great way to again develop different parts of your core. I like to slide, flip. We're going to do this for reps because I practice at the timer. Do 1 more each side. You got about 20, 30 seconds. Again, this is a great way to, again, develop multiple aspects of your core. When people think core, it's usually just like abs, obliques, lower back. You have over 20 muscles that comprise your core. So being able to get creative with this is one of my favorite things to give not only fighters and athletes, but just our common clients, because you will get a stronger core. You will reduce your likelihood of injury. You'll be able to train longer and more sustainably. Hope knows. She's pumped about it. That's our shoulder taps. Now we're going to do our, again, bent over, banded rows. So what I was eventually going to do is bring in the barbell. So what I'm actually going to do is I want to show 2 versions of this, and then we're going to kind of bring it home after the shadow boxing because we got to get Hope to sleep. Hope is kind of having a rough time because I'm so loud. So what we could do is if you don't want to use a door anchor, we can just simply, with our door anchor, I already have some bands looped through. We just use that. We clip either handles, or I don't necessarily even use the handles. But yeah, we're in this position. Row, row. We could even do them together. Same principle applies though. Shoulders out, pull slack out. Or what I also like is another option. If you don't have a door, you can just literally step on the bands and then get a nice wide stance, pull the slack out. Now I've got even tension in both my hands, and I can row right here. I can also go palms up. The only downside is you can rotate with them. It's just a little bit more challenging. It's really good for your wrists. It's just harder at the same time. So that's another variation. And then lastly, just to show you guys really quick, if you have either dumbbells or your barbell, and let's say like I don't have a lot of plates for my barbell because I don't keep them in the house. They're at my gym. Or let's say you have one set of dumbbells, like a 20-pound set. You even have an adjustable set of dumbbells, but it caps out. If you want to add more resistance, you can just loop the bands around it. So I kind of lasso it right through, and then I can step on the bands, anchor it, and now this is going to add 60 pounds of extra resistance at the top end. Now, that's the other cool thing with bands, by the way. Bands are what's called variable resistance. At the stretched out point, they have the most resistance. At their shortened one, they have the least resistance. So I can pull, and I got the most resistance at the top. Same thing on the other side. As we pull, that's where we get the most resistance. Another cool feature I would like to highlight people is you can even lasso it around and do different types of either like overhead carries for tremendous shoulder stability or different types of challenges, or for grip strengthening, carry it from the band and walk around. And because it's oscillating or it has this rebounding effect, it adds more challenge and resistance. So that's pretty much it for, fortunately, we're going to keep it at 2 rounds instead of doing all 4. Time constraints and baby Hope needing to sleep. There's one thing I want to show you really quick. Piece of equipment I like to use that I wanted to test. I haven't actually tested this in a while because I hurt my shoulder. Before I hurt my shoulder, I think I scored like a 90 or 95, which is not that great, honestly, or 104 or something. This is a grip strength test, so I wanted to test it out and see where I'm at, 101.6. Okay, and this is my rotator cuff that I have some injuries in, so we can do, I like to prompt people to do 3, 103.4. Let's do one more. 98.8. All right, so I know I'm dropping. Now let's do the left side. Left side's my weakest side. This is the side I have nerve damage on. So by comparison, yeah, 98.8. Let's see if we can get it up a little bit. 90.4. Yeah, I'm already dropping. So 103 and then 98. So, but the point is, the reason I bring this up is a really good tool. But even if you're not a trainer, it's been connected, and you've maybe even seen other people online talk about the connection of longevity, especially like Dr. Peter Attia, or I forget the other person's name, who spent like over $1 million a year on their supplements. They talk about this connection of grip strength and quality of life and longevity. So it's a low-cost investment. I do it with all our clients when we do their diagnostic, when we do them in person. And if not, I recommend they get it online and we do it together. But it's such a accessible, great tool. It's something I wanted to finish up with and talk about. That being said, that's pretty much the workout. Hope's going to go to bed. And I got to clean all this stuff up while Hope is going to bed. But thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Again, our blog has this workout absolutely for free. We also will have versions of this in our app. So whether you do our 14-day trial, you buy the band kit, you buy the book set. We have our books right now. Or also the Kindle editions are absolutely free. They're going to be free until Monday, so I recommend get them. I'm trying to be number 1 in both the categories for these. So even if you don't necessarily plan on it, if you just want to support, download them. I'm trying to get number 1 spot for each. The highest I ever got was top 10 on both of these. So I want to see if we can get number 1, right, Carrie? So that being said, happy belated Thanksgiving, everyone. Happy Black Friday. I'll be back tomorrow doing a self-care live stream when Carrie gets back as well, probably around 6 o'clock. Maybe I'll wait to do it later, see how Baby Hope does. And then Monday, we're going to do an Ask Me Anything live stream. So hopefully it will be valuable for you all as well. I'm confident it will be. Now I'm going to go clean up and get a shower. Let's look at my numbers really quick from the watch. I like to kind of look at, see where we're at. I didn't mark it on my phone though. And that's the other thing I wanted to show y'all. On the phone, we can mark in the LOF app or activity connected to our watches. But with that being said, we're at what was the total duration? Let's see, total duration was 45 minutes, 500 calories burned, average heart rate 143. Bam, there you go, y'all. So if you followed along, great work. And if not, you can always follow again later. Catch you guys later. Peace.